Yeah, so the transition between in-person and online worship happened very quickly. It was almost like you snapped your fingers. We had to come up with a plan that week. But I am proud of us that we did transition pretty much immediately. We didn't take a week off to figure it out. We jumped right in and did our best. So essentially, we brought in our laptops. We tried to connect to the Wi-Fi. We used some microphone that we got and picked up that we didn't end up using because it didn't work very well. And we basically tried to just do the best we can with what we had kind of at home or lying around at the church. And while we did get through it, we learned quite a bit of what not to do. Yeah, so from there, after the first week or so, like I said, we were really diligent about learning about what was working and what wasn't working and trying to just be better each time. So every week we came with new ideas, or honestly, I have to give a lot of credit to Greg, my colleague, the organist pianist. He is a really smart guy and apparently has a lot of technology just at home. I mean, as musicians, we often have things related to our profession at home, but I don't know if he's done a lot of recording or whatnot, but he just ended up bringing out all kinds of things from his home studio and maybe his closet, something buried from years past that he hasn't used in a while. And so actually a lot of the equipment has been, belongs to Greg. He brought it in, and like I said, every week we had to learn on the fly, so to speak. And just keep getting better each and every week. Yeah, so like I said, each week we're trying to get as best as we can, but of course, with the equipment that we have, we can only go to a certain extent where we kind of reach a plateau and we're not able to necessarily perform or capture what we're doing better because we reach the limitations of the technology that we're using. So we've been, besides a recent Zoom update that did help improve the quality over Zoom because we were also limited by that, which was nice, we also, like I said, based on the microphones that we have, the old cables that we found, some of which we found like barely worked anymore, or this old amp that was hardly used, we've reached a point where, honestly, to take it to the next level, we would need the newest, not the newest, but newer equipment, and equipment that is of a higher quality so that we can continue to grow and to, like I said, always learn and be better than the last week. So I'm really excited about all the research we've been doing in terms of what equipment is out there. Like I said, a lot of our stuff is outdated, and especially with the tech world, things are always being invented and perfected and growing. So just seeing what's out there is pretty exciting. Just the fact, going, for instance, moving to a digital mixer rather than kind of the one we were using or the ones that we have in the church that are more analog. Using cameras that are able to have preset angles and can zoom 30 times what a normal camera can zoom into, so that we can actually try to bring people into the space, like as if it's more like they're there, as instead of just a kind of a spectator from afar. I'd love to see us have camera angles that are closer to the music as it's being created and the musicians that are creating it, and also being able to have a little more control over all the individual instruments, right, that are being put in and mixed together to form the music that's going to end up on people's screens at home. Right, so yes, we want our live stream while we're in a pandemic to be as best as we can be, and we do think we can make it better, and using the new technology that we're looking at purchasing, we think we can get there. But even beyond the pandemic, we've found that there are some people that previously couldn't see what we were doing here at Holy Trinity because they've either moved away or they're not able to travel or whatever reason. I know there was one part in, I think it was early on in Lent or beyond, or maybe it was Easter. My mom actually showed up, and she lives an hour and a half away. She's and doesn't travel very well, so that she was able to show up was really meaningful to me, and I think to her as well. And had we not had a live stream, I don't think she would have been able to make it. So I think even in the future, beyond the pandemic, when we are able to meet in person, I think that there are creative solutions that we can use to have almost like a simulcast, I guess you could say, where there are people in person worshiping and listening to the music here, but there's also a live stream associated with that, so that we can have people listening from the comfort of their homes, wherever those homes might be.